dropping now. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Eyes and flames call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized inherent pain, pumping through my veins. Eyes in flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the safe I embrace inside of me. I only fuel the fire. But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power? History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. Oh no, tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to僕の愛と嫌いにいる。Oh no, tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to僕の愛と嫌いにいる。I love, I hate the same. got my number figured out. A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized.
And Guacamole is like
is wonderful.
It is absolutely.
It is excellent. It is ridiculous that it's like $4 extra. You have tacos or something.
If there was like life in the universe besides that on Earth, right? Like alien life, and it was if it was born in very inhospitable conditions to what we know, like a sulfur atmosphere or some kind of horrible conditions, and there's these creatures that live there.
Okay.
And you can imagine the most horrible looking creature ever. This would be that creature's vomit. Would be guacamole. It would be. It'd be that alien and disgusting. That is guacamole to me.
You have very strong feelings about this. I can see.
I can't even look at it.
Is it about the consistency?
Yes.
Okay. If your eyes were closed and you didn't, have you ever tasted it like without that consistency prejudice?
I couldn't even think about tasting it. I almost want to throw up just thinking about it. It's like, wait, it's gonna be. It's like so repulsive to me. It is.
I love it. Although I think I can only have so much of it because it does like really has like a high fat content and stuff. So it's like you get full on guac. You're like, oh, you eat too much guac.
Full on guac. Oh,
and
God.
It also it's only good for short period of time. Once you make the guacamole and stuff, you can't like save it. It starts to brown.
I can't imagine when it goes bad.
It's no bueno.
And then you're vomiting. It's like you're vomiting vomit. You know what I mean? It's like the vomit happened, which is the guacamole
Not
itself,
necessarily.
and then you ate that
I have not
vomit,
experienced that. No,
and then
wow,
you in
no,
turn vomited the vomit that you previously ate.
This is getting dark, man.
That's
I don't think I can.
I do feel strongly about this.
Have
We're
you talked to anybody
about
the guacamole thing?
my version of guacamole. We're live, by the way. So hello everyone.
Right.
How are you?
Oh, hello. Oh,
Yeah, no,
hello.
the people are here. Yeah. So how's everybody doing?
Um,
So
hey,
yeah, we're here.
I don't know when you guys started, but
Yeah.
this guy really hates
I
guacamole.
really don't like
in a,
guacamole.
in a seriously like
Right.
intense way that
Yeah.
I find troubling. Not necessarily the dislike of guacamole, but the intensity to which you dislike it.
It's
You
visceral.
know,
It's
you
visceral.
had almost a logarithmic
Yeah.
series of vomiting.
It might be
happening.
genetic, actually. I'm thinking.
Did you have a parent that also had a aversion to guacamole?
Not that I know of. My parents ate lots of weird stuff.
Oh,
I was the
why
one
would you
with
say
the
it's
weird.
genetic?
That's a good point. Maybe ancient ancestor or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a mutation, DNA mutation.
I don't know. It's like that cilantro thing that some
Cilantro.
people it tastes good. Some people it tastes like soap.
So right.
just-
I've heard that.
It depends. Yeah. You really don't know what it's like for the other person. It's like, no, this is, and it's like,
Yeah.
it literally just, yeah.
So we're here,
Oh.
and welcome everyone to the show we like to call OK Seriously, and this is the place where you ask questions and we give answers. We'll give you advice on anything you ask us, because if there's one thing we have, it is opinions.
And at this point, I think we can just go and say this is, we don't like to call this OK Seriously. This is now, at this point, OK Seriously.
Okay,
I think
seriously.
after 29 times, it's established itself that the name is sort of set.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is this episode 29, by the way. So thank you for everyone who's been repeatedly joining us. We appreciate and love each and and Green Bands, thank you.
You considered?
Yes, go ahead.
No, please. I'm sorry.
I was gonna thank
What?
you for your presence. I mean, it's can't do this
Oh
without
my
you.
God. Yep. This I love the opportunity each and every
Yeah.
week.
I'm sure. I think you're feeling. It's like you're
think-
winning
I
the
think you're-
Oscars every week, right? It's like
It's not quite that,
An Academy
but
Award.
it is similarly gives a dopamine level rise, which is also nice.
nice.
So yes, a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you.
And I think if you think with just OK Seriously, like we need to add like a tagline or something that's more catchy, something like OK Seriously, rip into it. Like
It's not a
no?
monster. It's not a monster truck rally at the Centrum. You know?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like-
that implies like claws.
Yeah.
With, like, you would need a T-shirt that literally had claw marks in it, like
Right.
that kind of T-shirt, or where the letters are claw marks. Like, yeah. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really fit.
If we could go with the
Right,
theme, like, okay, seriously, because the implication is you're wrong and here's why. You know what I mean? It could be like a follow on.
Right. Well, it doesn't always get because sometimes in the questions, there's a decision being made that is
Right.
absolutely wrong. But
And
I like
often
the-
on a
but
false-
most of the
or
ones that we
on a-
get are actually
Right.
are questions.
Or on a false premise. I mean, it's another
Right.
common theme we see. Right. So.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So what do we have today?
Oh yeah. Let's get right into it. So we have 5 questions for today submitted by our viewers, and we're gonna get right into the first one. So, first one is from
All right.
Amanda from Louisville, Kentucky. Amanda asks, "I am
Okay.
working full time, but still need extra income to be able to live. America at its finest. Haha. I've been trying to find a good side hustle idea and stumbled upon garbage can cleanings. I think this would be a good small side hustle with small investment into a power washer and cleaning supplies. But since I'm a woman, I'm nervous about how I'd be perceived. I'm not trying to care about what people think, but it's hard. What should I do?" asks Amanda. Side hustle.
I think, this is actually, you might be onto something, Amanda. Like, it only takes a single bag of trash containing like just common household stuff, like diapers and napkins and stuff. That just a bag of that can turn any garbage can into a festering pool of salmonella, E. coli, listeria, and worse.
Maggots has been a common.
And once it started,
maggots.
once that process starts, thousands and thousands of bacteria start to get generated. And then once that process has started, it takes only one a single touch of one human child's hand to become infected
Yes.
and begin
Wow.
the inevitable process of a painful, slow death. So I like the idea cleaning garbage cans. It's important.
Important service.
Now, I have seen this, that this is something that
Yes.
exists already.
Yes.
But normally it sort of they come in like a sanitizing truck that sort of like does
Yes.
all the stuff. But
They say that,
perhaps
yeah, they say that some financial advisor said, and it's pretty good wisdom actually. If you're trying to start your own business, your own side hustle, find a thing rich people need and provide that thing, and you can make money doing it. Because rich people are willing to spend money on the stupidest ass shit in the universe that they don't feel like doing, such as hosing down the garbage
Right.
cans. That's why dog walking became such a thing like 20 years ago or whatever like that,
Right.
right? It's like, oh,
Right.
please walk little Fifi, right, or whatever. Like rich people will
yeah,
pay
'cause
you
I don't wanna have to do it.
$1,000
Like,
to
why
walk
do you
your
even want a
dog.
dog?
Right.
Right.
Why do you want the dog?
Right. Because to
Social
them, it's
status,
like
right?
it's the money is meaningless,
Exactly.
and they're just like, I just want this problem to
Right.
go away.
And dog
Like,
walker
it's
businesses
super annoying.
boomed big time, and
Yeah.
people made tons of money walking dogs. It's like insane.
I mean,
The
they
things that
still
rich
do
people
in
spend
some
money
way. I
on.
mean, you know,
Yeah, no, it's still very very lucrative. But
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Mrs.
that's the
Green
thing.
Pants had a dog walker for when she was just at work, just
did
to
she?
make sure the dog got out and stuff, because she had like a big dog for a short time and she was in there. So
Got
and the woman had like 7 dogs at a time, and she's
Oh,
like
wow.
walking around the city and stuff. Yeah,
7
it was
dogs.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Thing.
So but yeah, so cleaning the garbage cans those businesses definitely exist. Because I think of exactly that. Like the only person the companies I can see doing it are like people who are rich enough to want to
Want to pay for
pay
that?
someone to come clean their
I
garbage
would never
cans.
pay for someone to clean my garbage cans.
Yeah,
I'm a little
I mean, yeah,
frugal for such
neither
things,
would
so-
I. I would, yes, I wouldn't, but there are lots of things that I wouldn't, pay to do that other people come pay to do. Like when I'm out in my yard,
I
and
do my
just
yard
doing
work.
stuff, I watch all manner of other contractors and stuff coming in to do essentially the same things, just in a shorter time frame.
And right.
So it just
But
takes
charging
me
a lot
long
of money. Well, it's a
with
crew
manual
of like
materials.
guys too, right? They come in, they do it, they
Right.
move on to the next one.
Right. They go in like a bunch of pussies and come with their chainsaws and all this stuff, and they're like coming with the power that comes of gasoline and the ability of the explosive power of that chemical reaction.
Yes.
Where otherwise it's just me,
two-stroke
the
engine.
human body, one human horsepower,
Yeah.
not horsepower, one human power.
One human power.
So
Less than a
basically what
horsepower.
I do is a lot more impressive, and I think I should be.
No one's
recognized for that.
questioning your credentials. I'm
Uh,
you know what we're doing.
but yeah, so okay, what do you think though of?
Well, I think that Amanda's main concern is she's worried what people think, and it's like, well, let them think when you're left on your way to the bank cashing your side hustle checks, right? I mean,
yeah,
don't
okay, yeah,
worry
I would
about
not.
what people think.
I definitely don't worry about people think, because this totally exists already. Like this isn't something that's like, oh, like this is a very, very weird thing. There is a website called trashbincleaningserviceslocator.com that you can go to. And what you need to do is whenever that you end up naming your business, you go and you put it onto that list, and anyone who is looking for the service and of trash bin cleaning services would be going to trashbincleaningservices locator.com. So if you're in that locator, basically they come to you. So
There you go.
first you got to think of a name.
I'm amazed it's such a big thing. It's like I'm like, people really won't wash out their trash bins. It's like it takes like
Yeah.
minutes.
She'll need a name.
Name for the company.
Simply
yes.
Cans,
Simply Cans.
Stinkin' Clean, Garbage Gladiator, Gunk Busters, Stinkin' Clean, Filth to Fresh.
Hmm.
Never been cleaner. Never been.
I see what you did there. I do
cleaner.
see what you did there. I do see what you did.
But yeah, all I'm saying is there are lots of possibilities, I think, for Amanda. And
Yeah.
and Louisville is one of those areas where there are super rich areas of
There
those,
are.
like the people who own the horses, and there are
Yeah.
absolutely people who are going to pay
Who
money
will pay for
live
this
in-
bullshit service that you're
that
going to
live
offer?
in very wealthy areas around the greater Louisville,
Ah.
Kentucky area.
Yeah, for sure.
Where there is a city, there are rich suburbs
There really
somewhere.
are, and people want to pay for that stuff. And here's the thing, like I don't know, this has been on my mind a lot lately. So, and I don't want to diverge you, Amanda, but you know,
Cleaning
clearly,
trash cans?
clearly, no, clearly, Green Pants and I are doing the streaming thing, right? And so I'm pretty familiar with the streaming business at this point, and I got to tell you, if you're a woman, and if you just decide to put a camera on yourself and go on the internet, you could make a lot of money without touching any trash cans for the rest of your life.
What, so like
You might want to
like
consider it.
everyone needs an OnlyFans page?
You don't even have to go that
Or
far. I'd say women make tons of money just being. I don't want to use negative words, but like I'm just being. You don't even have to be
being
naked.
I mean,
Suggestive.
w-
Suggestive is adequate. Is what
right.
I'm
I
saying.
mean, what I mean, essentially, if you break that down into its most like basic term and like
Mhm.
throw everything else out, it's essentially like the service that you provide is your femininity to
Right.
which males are naturally
Will
attracted
pay.
to. They want
Yes.
to get a dopamine hit, a release.
Yes.
You are providing a dopamine hit
Yes.
for them
Yes.
by offering what you have that they don't, and that is the transaction. And great.
Purely
And
transactional.
and both sides are perfectly fine with the transaction
Yeah.
and exactly what it costs
Right.
and everything else. So totally get
I'm
that.
telling you, don't overlook it. It's a thing.
But it's not for everyone though, because a lot of times you have to just. I mean,
You don't have to do a lot from what I've seen.
doesn't there have to be a thing? I mean, if you're not doing OnlyFans where you're doing like straight up like
Right.
pornography,
You can just sit there
what
and
are
talk to
you?
people. There's one of the most successful women on Twitch. There's multiple. One of them is I forget her name, but she is she has Tourette syndrome, and all she does is get on and just talks.
Oh,
And occasionally her Tourette's kicks in, and she's a very
but
attractive
what does she
woman.
talk about?
Random shit, like just random. She
Yeah.
occasionally plays a game or
I
two, but she just talks about random
I
shit,
think
and
those
she
are
has
like
millions of followers.
I
Unbelievable.
think those are like unicorns though, because there's only so many influencers like that can have
Maybe.
25 million viewers. But
Maybe.
yeah, no, I mean there are lots of people, and
Yeah.
because there's people like YouTube channels for literally
It,
everything.
it's really, to be fair, like
Um,
if you have a certain look and a certain delivery, then I think you have a window to hit that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, because a lot of these who are very successful now didn't think they would be. You know what I mean? They thought they were just like, oh, there's a million of us. What's it going to matter for me? And like, you got that right look and that right way you carry yourself, and then boom, that's it. So it's really mind blowing how popular.
Right,
it is.
so Amanda, you can strap a webcam on. Don't necessarily have to. You can maybe like do extreme sports or something with like a GoPro on your head.
Or well, I was going to say combine
like,
it. Do
I
the
would totally
garbage
watch
can.
that. You
do,
could just
do the garbage can cleaning with the camera.
But you could, right? Yeah,
People
yeah.
watch it.
Incorporate
People
that
will
somehow.
watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
People will watch it. Whatever. If you doing something, yeah, that is absolutely a possibility, and that is somewhere where you can use your the fact that part of it is you're worried because you're a female. Use your femininity to your advantage. Like
That's my point.
it's something that
use
it's like
all your
wow,
assets.
like take the money. Like who
Take
cares? Like I
the
mean,
money.
because it really is
Welcome
just like
capitalism.
like-
Take the money.
like I don't really like. I have a problem with the moral judgment of people where it's like, a guy sees someone that's attractive, and they look at it or whatever, and it's like, oh, you're like you're committing some sort of like
Not at all.
not adultery,
Not
but
at
like,
all.
but it's like
Not
why
at all.
why are you looking at her?
Right.
Because I like my brain is wired to just
Right.
do that, and so
Right.
it's like and also your brain is thinking all the time, being like, yeah, don't you want to get laid? Don't you wanna
With
get
that,
laid?
right?
Wanna get
Wouldn't
laid?
you like to
Wanna get
partake?
laid?
And, like, yes, I would.
Right.
You're not
And so
necessarily going to do anything
so,
about
like-
it,
like
but
pornography
you're
performs a valuable service.
Right. Right. You're not going to do anything about it, but you're allowed to have those thoughts, and you're allowed to fantasize about it, and you're
Yeah.
allowed to watch fantasies about
Well,
that same thing.
And you're also allowed
Fine.
to, have pornography. So
Right.
know,
Insomnient raises a good point that there are actually people who stream themselves sleeping. So you could just sleep and put a camera on you, and people will watch it.
I would think that that would be my guess is you stream that while you're sleeping, so you feel you're not alone.
Some people might do
Something
that.
like that.
I believe that.
Like that's I'm trying to think of like why it would be interesting, because
Yeah.
it's like I can see people not really watching it, but it happening.
I think.
that
I
I
think that
Or do you think people are sitting there just doing this?
Yeah. I think so. I
mean,
think
are you talking about
men.
like attractive women sleeping that are like
Yes.
being creepy? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
You know what I mean? And I think
So just
there's
women sleeping
certain men that
against men's
enjoy
abilities?
a woman in a vulnerable state just laying there unconscious. You know what I mean? And kind of like enjoy that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, obviously that exists because everything exists.
Right. I mean,
mean,
I didn't.
I've seen German porn.
Hate the game, not the player. Yeah.
Exists. Everything exists.
Yes. Anyway, so Amanda, hope don't give a crap what anyone thinks. Do your business. It's fine. Go for it. And again, that's good general advice. Anything that rich people need, if you could provide that service, you will make good money.
Yeah, and it really is. Yeah, I think I don't think I've ever heard it quite summarized that way, but
No.
yeah, it's spot on.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Here we go. So next question. Next question is from Clarissa. Clarissa says, for context, I'm a 17-year-old female. My uncle is 46. Okay, great. He lost a job a few months ago and has been living with us for a while. These days it's really hot and humid at night. The only rooms with AC in my house belong to me and my parents. So recently my uncle asked me if I'd mind if we shared a room. He said I should let him sleep on the same bed because he's family and not a stranger. The majority of my family members take his side and told me I'm disrespecting my elders, but I think it's really creepy. Am I wrong for not wanting to share my bed with my uncle? Yes. Like, what? You're not wrong.
Oh my god. No, this is
What
okay.
are we
All right, first of all, with
This is
respect
how porn.
to the
This is how
context.
porn start. It's like,
Oh my god.
what is
Okay,
happening?
Clarissa, okay, with respect to the context that you mentioned, part of that context where you just sort of said 17F, that's you basically just told us that you're a child, okay? And then you said, can your adult relative, much older
Be in the
man,
bed with
sleep
you.
in the same bed with you? Absolutely not. No way. In any circumstance.
No.
I don't care. No.
And your parents should be 100%
especially if you-
behind that.
Especially if you're not comfortable with it. I mean, I
Right.
think it'd be a terrible idea regardless, but or maybe in some sort of like survival situation or just something where you're, but but the thing that's troubling me the most though is that she said that the people like her family is fine with it. So
Which is weird.
that tells me that they are insane people,
Yeah.
which means
Utah too.
yes, because this behavior would be considered creepy in every fucking societal structure except maybe some cults. And guess what cult is closely aligned to Utah? The Mormons.
Mormons.
Back again.
Otherwise known as the LDS.
The hat looking at golden plates, reading off the words.
Oh my God.
Again, back
The
to the
Jewish
wooden
wooden submarine?
people. I just like
You're not making submarine out of wood.
Yeah, I would no. 99 times out of 100, that's what this is going to be.
It's
Like
back to
that
the
is
Mormons.
if I don't know what specificity what the ratio of Bluffville, Utah is, but if it's a town in Utah that has enough people to consist of a town,
Yeah.
it's probably Mormon.
Mormon, right?
And they might not think it's creepy. It is creepy.
It's creepy.
It is incredibly creepy. So you are correct.
It's
Um,
invasive. It's suggestive. Like,
you are a minor, and your uncle is not in any position to ask you to do anything. Like, that is a fucked up power dynamic that is completely unacceptable in
and
every
if
situation.
it's really becoming that much of an issue, like the only thing that's even remotely reasonable to ask is to take the AC and put it in the room he's sleeping in. You know what I mean? If that's really what they want to do, it's like,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
that's it. Like that's the counter offer.
I know. Get a
Maximum
fan.
counter offer. Get a fan.
I mean, seriously. I mean, get a box fan for like $18 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there are solutions to this that are other than a 46-year-old man is sleeping with a 17-year-old girl who is no.
No, absolutely not. Even
Who
if
she
you're like, I don't
doesn't
care
like
who you're
really
related
or
to.
whatever. I mean, well, she doesn't really say. She just said he lost his job and he's been living with them, but
Right.
she doesn't really kind of tell whether she likes him. But
His uncle.
uh,
Oh, I mean, if they have a good relationship,
Yeah.
you mean?
right, because well, the family's saying he's not a stranger, and that might be true. Like if it's his, her dad's brother or something. But like, we don't know if like she is like fine with him, but it sounds like not because she's like, I find it creepy. So clearly,
And Amanda,
whatever
Clarissa,
whatever the relationship is, she doesn't want to sleep in a bed with him, so she should
Right.
not be forced to under any conditions.
Yeah, Clarissa, your gut feeling on this, correct. Just roll with that.
Yes. the spidey sense that went
Yeah.
off in your head that was like something's not right. Yeah, that's because something is not right. So,
Right.
and unfortunately, the network of people that you have around you are crazy, and so where in a normal society, the people around you would be like, no, 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 oh yeah, this is absolutely creepy. Like we're trying to tell you. That's why your family is saying, no, 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 this is fine. This is fine. That's
Not
because
fine.
they're in a cult and they have beliefs that are
The
nonsense and are actively
yeah.
harming society.
Like if
So,
and if they're really pushy on it, you just say, look, I'm gonna stay over a friend's house. You know what I mean? I mean, he can have my room. Stay over a friend's house.
right. I
I'm
mean, if they're
comfortable.
cool with that, or not, you're 17. I mean, yeah, it's like, how close are you to 18? So, I mean, because there's the whole like 17,
Yeah.
18
It's
child adult
sketchy, right?
dynamic.
Because you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
your ability to make your own choices.
The age that, yeah, it's just the whole thing is just like creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And so,
But
no,
you do have
like,
a right, regardless of your age, to not have a grown man in your bed.
yes, that is
Just
that
to make
is
that
your
clear.
right as
Yeah.
a person.
As a
Yeah, like
breathing person. Yes.
yeah, just as that one just comes with the lungs and the brain and the heartbeats.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So again, to be clear, Clarissa, not wrong. Do not let your uncle
Can't
sleep in
blame
your
her.
room, or
Like,
definitely not
what
your bed.
dick parents are like,
Seriously.
no, you should sleep with your uncle. Oh, come on, look, not a stranger. Sleep with, like
Like this
talk
is
about inviting disaster
right.
into your home.
Like this is how the story
What is
starts.
wrong with you?
You know, it's in the news.
Like,
It's like,
exactly.
oh, Uncle Mullet. Like, why even
This is
go there?
This is the exact situation
Jesus.
that you, as a parent, are supposed to help your children
Right.
avoid
Avoid. Yes,
as
thank
their
you.
parent. When they are a child,
Yes.
you have to make sure they're not in situations where they're sleeping with adult
Oh my
strangers,
God. Nutty.
even
Nutty.
if they are related in some sort of genetic way.
Right. You know, that's the thing. It's like, you know what was weird?
What is going on in Utah, man?
I know. Hey, Hippo. Oh, we got a viewer saying hi. Hippogras, how you doing? Howdy. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're just going through our list of questions here.
Is it
If you have any,
Hippogras?
name is Hippogras. Yes, Hippogras.
Awesome.
They I don't know if that means it's
Uh-oh.
grass-fed hippo, or
Could be, or just a hippo in the grass, or just in the
or
savannah.
the weed that hippos smoke. Perhaps I don't know that either. And they engage in marijuana.
I don't want to make any presumptions.
I don't want to make presumptions either.
Um,
But Hippogras,
but I
welcome.
want to. I just want to get back to Clarissa.
Clarissa, don't
You're
sleep with your
involved.
uncle.
And don't sleep with your uncle.
Yes, literally, metaphorically, in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Like
Right.
that's just
Yeah.
hard stop.
The thing I was gonna say really quick is that the whole Mormon thing is that because I think everyone here has heard our opinions on Mormonism in the past. So remember Mitt Romney, right? When he was running for president, and he said, "Oh, my strong Mormon roots and all that stuff," and he somehow normalized it. And everybody's like, "Oh, that's great, he's Mormon." And it's like, not great. It's a red flag.
Well,
it's a concern area.
it was concerning, but it's also like he's a guy in Mormonism, which in and of itself has a very patriarchal, like very
Sure.
like kind of dangerous structure,
Minimum.
built on false pretenses
Yes.
and nonsense.
And that's the
that has
liberal version of Mormonism.
adherents.
Yes.
And from a guy that like was a charlatan and just violent criminal that
Yes.
went across and and then but also with Mitt Romney I was like, but he's also was at Bain Capital, so he was a
Successful
a corporate
financier.
raider.
Yeah.
He was like one of those guys where they like on Wall Street where they go
Buy
they
up
buy
companies
up a company
like in
and then they just sell it for
Remember in Pretty Woman? That's what Richard Gere did.
Yes, exactly. that is and so suppose so it's, I'm like wait, so it's a guy that does that as a job, and then he also wears special underwear and thinks that there's these special levels of heaven that only the certain people are going to get to. Yeah, no, I'm not super cool with that.
Not buying that. I know.
But I guess I was in the minority because
Anyway.
he was governor for a
Right.
while.
So anyway, Clarissa, stay the course. If it really becomes an issue, go to a friend's house, or worst case,
Yes.
tell someone at school, and it'll get dealt with probably pretty quickly. If your school has any normal
Well-
teachers administration, it's
I would not assume that.
Fair point.
Necessarily. So
Utah, right?
yeah.
All right. Next
Number
one,
three.
Monique from San Jose, California. Monique asks, she is a 19-year-old female, been with her 23-year-old boyfriend for 4 months now, and we have done mostly everything but actual PIV sex.
Penis in vagina.
Oh, thank you. Is that what the young people call it these days?
That is what that is.
Got it.
Yes.
I really want to try it. I'm a virgin and he knows, but he hasn't been making any moves to do it with me. I've told him that I would like to have sex soon, but he still hasn't made any moves. And I am unsure if I should ask if something is wrong, asks Monique from San Jose, California.
Like,
Hey, Monique.
that was like a lot of word salad to say we can't talk to each other. It seems.
I was thinking that's
'Cause
exactly what I was
like,
thinking.
because yeah, because my kind of question is like when you say making moves, what does that mean exactly? Like, is there a set of steps that you're looking for, like a procedure, like
You're waiting
if
for
he
to
does
slide your
X,
underwear off, kind of
that's the
thing. Like,
move?
right? Like,
Yeah,
are you
like,
waiting for to take your
and
underwear
is
off, and that means that's the sign? Like, that needs
yeah,
to be
like,
clear.
do you
You know?
is there a list of things that that would trigger you to be like he is making
Yeah.
a move? Because I'll tell you, he has no idea what
No.
that list is,
No.
at all. So waiting for him to do that is, you know, why you don't need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
You know, I think
And
I
if
think
they,
Vanguard can will fully
right,
support me on
and if
this.
they, yeah, totally. And if they've done mostly everything, I assume that means you've done oral. I'm assuming probably not anal, which is fine. And
But
using your
not even matter. I'm
hands.
just saying communicate. That's it.
Yes.
Like all they have to. It's like
Yes.
the whole thing is like
That's
he's
the
not
thing.
making moves because it's like no, you
Right.
don't actually
Waiting
need to
for
like.
him.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with speaking to each other.
Correct.
Like
Just say
it doesn't. Like I know a lot of people think that like it takes the romance out or whatever,
It's
but
not.
just getting on the same page on
You
like
don't-
what you like and don't like
Right.
is like really helpful for
Right.
both people in an overall any situation. I think.
Right.
And so it's kind of like be like, you know.
Right, and
Say
so
something.
what you got to do, Monique, is during your next intimate encounter, you guys are in various stage of undress and playing with each other, doing whatever you normally do, and just say, "Hey, I want to do this right now. You in?" And hopefully, yes.
Listen,
and
I
if
want to
not,
bang.
go with bang, right?
And
it doesn't have to break the
and
mood.
if
Like
not
you could
you,
say, like
I'm gonna find someone else down the
like,
street who's gonna do it with me.
I tell you,
Are you in?
I'm going right now. Or I'm calling the pizza boy. I'm going to do him.
Yeah. Right now. Are you in or are you out?
It's happening.
Just see, yeah. I mean that like that's one of those
Something's
things, like,
going
make
in
him- if he
here
decides quickly,
tonight.
He's gonna go yes, because that is something where biologically, you know, at these ages, absolutely,
Yes.
just be like, you want
Yes.
this. His brain will just be like,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
It'll
Yes.
be-
There's
Unless
something-
he's particularly
calling me to
chaste,
say
which
yes.
It sounds like he's not.
right, because you're doing everything else.
There's no reason to believe that he would be like shocked or like upset by it. It's like you already
Right.
like have a relationship.
Have your
like this. So, like,
condoms ready.
boom. Yeah.
Safe sex. Condoms ready. No pregnancy. Unwanted pregnancies. Right.
Set up. As Van
Have it
Gogh
all
said.
set up in the nightstand. That's right. Have them ready. And then like someone fun. And what Green Pants about breaking the mood? It's like I'm telling you, like most heterosexual men who are with a woman, and if she says, "I want you inside me right now," like literally that way, that's not breaking any kind of mood. That is enhancing the mood and creating a level of awesomeness that most guys would be like, "Yes, I would like that," you know, and then carry on. Yeah. So that recommendation, next intimate encounter, tell him directly what
Yeah.
you want.
Absolutely.
And if he gets shy and says, "Oh no, I don't know," but then have an actual conversation, right? And say, "What
Right.
are
Oh,
you
yeah,
concerned
yeah.
about?"
Yeah.
You know the thing, you know, and then talk, communicate.
Yes. I mean, especially it's like you're
Communication.
23 and 19. Like
Communication.
that,
I'm sorry, I was making a little ditty.
being 19.
2019.
I'm not sure what was going on. I think
Yes.
I might have had a stroke for a second. But I'm back now. I don't know what I was seeing.
Something. No, I know.
Craziness.
It's something.
I don't know what it was. It was deeply upsetting. But I think we can move on. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Apologies to.
So, Monique, good luck. You know, we'd love to hear a follow up how it went.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Next one comes from Kenneth. Kenneth from Lansing, Michigan. Oh, Kenneth is our only male submitter this week. So
Oh.
let us pay
Okay.
special attention to Kenneth to not make him feel left out. Let's see. Kenneth is a 33-year-old male, college dropout, has worked in one industry since he was 17, and is in significant debt. He finds himself in a place where he needs to start over for his mental health's sake. I've been in a rut and feel extremely stuck, and it's been leading me in a repeated cycle of bad decisions. I just want to walk away from my life and restart. What are the first steps to do this? Kenneth.
Walking away from your life and restarting can really mean a couple different things.
Yes.
So if he's talking about Kenneth, are you talking about like you want to disappear off the grid?
Right.
Like you want to
Like
are you talking
forsake
about
any
like
friends you
faking
have, kind of thing, and your
like
family, and
faking your own death and taking the social security number of a newly
of a
dead
dead
child
man.
at that level? Like what level of illegality are we talking about? Like because
If you need to completely disappear
know,
with a new identity,
walking
I know
away-
a guy
Is-
that can help
uh
set you up.
yeah, because I'm just saying like walking away from your life, especially if you are in considerable debt and your idea is that you are just going to disappear and walk away from that, it sounds like an awfully bad, terrible decision.
Right.
Another one that you've been making, because especially if that plan will involve felony forgery
And
or
identity
theft.
fraud, right? It's like, yeah, it's one of those
Right.
things. And your creditors will
so-
do their best to find you as well. So that's
Being in fairness, so let's assume that's not what you mean, and the walking away is a metaphorical
right.
walking away.
I'm gonna make that assumption as well.
And you aren't orchestrating an insurance payout for burying an empty coffin. And I would say definitely priorities the debt.
Yes.
Like
down
getting
your
the
debt.
financial house in order. I think before you can really do anything is like it's figuring out, come up with a plan for that. If it's just like figure out exactly what it is, consolidate it all into one place, and then get on a plan to pay it off
every
over
month.
time. And then just figure out what that is. Just do
Agreed.
the math. Figure out what you can afford.
Right.
You said you're in one industry. I mean, that could be helpful if then that means you know a lot about that industry. I don't know what industry it
Experience.
is, but
Yeah.
that's
Isn't
kind
it
of
right? But there's always, side action. You could perhaps do something like, I don't know, clean garbage cans for rich people. I hear that's a thing.
well. It sounds like Kenneth wants something more dramatic, not dramatic, but more. Yeah, I mean more large scale. Like he's talking about. He's like, I want to restart. Not like I need to change the pace or I need to
addendum.
like start a workout.
Well, but to your point,
He's like I want to walk away.
yeah,
like
yeah.
This is more of like a
Reset button. Yeah.
someone moves away. Like it's like I'm gonna like get the hell out of Lansing, Michigan. Which you know what the hell, get the hell out of Lansing, Michigan. It sucks.
Lansing is a fine
and-
city.
No, it's not. It's a terrible place. Yeah, it's awful.
This is not Utah.
Awful, awful people, awful people, awful place. And except for you, Kenneth. But
You seem like a straight up guy.
and maybe some others, whatever. But yeah, if you want to start over, figure out that plan, whatever, and then move somewhere, different, and whether that be a different town or perhaps a different country.
But I guess it's a chicken and egg thing, right? So it's unclear. Like you had some earlier advice that was pretty good. Is like pay down the debt. So Kenneth may be stuck where he is unless he could find another job making a comparable or higher income, right? Pay the debt down. Then you have more choices. Like being saddled with that debt is a horrible thing. Being in debt is an awful experience, right? You need to get rid of that, like you were saying before. Figure out how to pay.
But
that
I
down.
think though that while it will take time to actually get rid of the debt,
Yeah.
once you go through the effort of putting together the plan for the consolidation of it all and have it like mapped out that like I'm going to do X, the mental stress that you have will be much less in
Agreed.
terms of like because your brain will basically say, okay, this
And-
is just something that I do now.
Because there's a
And
plan.
it won't be like it's not like hanging over your head. It's just something that over time is going to work out, especially if you're keeping the same job, whatever. So you just
Right.
make some kind of a
Yeah,
Yeah,
at a minimum,
but-
when you have a plan, you'll feel better, slightly better about your situation, right?
right.
But without details about what your industry is and what your
Right.
debt situation, it's hard to give exact advice here. But the
Yeah,
general
but if you feel
guidelines.
like being stuck and restarting, like lots of people do it, and
Yeah.
you can head out to the big city, out of Michigan.
Lansing is a pretty
most
big city.
Yeah, but isn't all of Michigan have poisoned water? I don't know.
Just
I
Flint.
just it's
Flint.
just the one town, just the one
Actually,
place.
probably not, but
has
that's the one you heard.
has
That's the one you hear
poisoned
about,
water.
but probably not. Probably others.
Is not fixed for some reason because there is true evil in the world, and the universe is a terrible, uncaring place where you can have an entire city that just has
Poisoned
tainted
water.
water for a generation, and it's like,
Decades.
yeah, someone should do
Yes.
something about this, huh?
Right, Kenneth does not live in
Just-
Flint. He lives in Lansing. So,
Right. So,
Kenneth,
but either way, obviously, I mean, Ken,
Clearly.
you're in hell. I know. So, get the fuck out of Lansing. Is what I'm saying. Even if you're just going one state over, don't go to fucking Indiana.
right.
Just yeah, don't go to Missouri.
Lansing-
I don't know,
Lansing is
go to a
fine.
coast.
Lansing is fine. It's so Kenneth. I mean, the thing like you also didn't make clear like is part of the frustrations. I want to look at this aspect. It's part of the frustrations the people in your life, like your family and your friends. You know, and people you surround yourself with. Do you need a break from them too? Is it like
Right.
that? Is that part of what's dragging you down? Do you have toxic relationships in your life? You know what I mean? That's something to think about. And if so, work on
Right.
ending
Like
those
if you need
toxic
like a family otomy,
relationships.
where
Right.
you're just like, yep, I need to
People do that.
walk away because you're just in this like terrible situation. Let's say, or perhaps you're Clarissa from
I was
Blufffield, Utah.
about to say that.
And maybe 6 months from now, when Clarissa from Blufffield, Utah, who may or may not be listening, turns 18, she can also do something similar, where she will
If her
not
parents,
have to do something crazy like sleep with
with
a
her uncle, right?
46-year-old.
if her parents insist on her
Yeah.
sleeping with her uncle, then she can take action.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when your parents insist on you? They insist on
Sleeping with a
you have to sleep
46-year-old uncle, yeah, it's kind of
And you're a young
that's my
woman.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
Yeah, it is a.
for sure.
Anyway, back to you, Kenneth.
Yes.
You know, yeah, there are lots of ways to get a fresh start, but you know, whether just depending on your means and the ability.
That's
like,
it.
If you have the ability to like find a job somewhere else, one of the, great things about the internet is like you can find where opportunities are all over. You're not limited by where you are if you're in terms of searching. So
right.
Yeah,
But you would
like-
be surprised, right? If you're, I mean, kudos to you for recognizing this is affecting you mentally. You know what I mean? That's the need to take action is here, and for writing for us, writing to us. But you'll be surprised what little victories can do to adjust your state of mind. You know what I mean? Like even like consolidating your debt into one combined.
Yeah, that's
thing,
true.
Right? Even having a payment plan on your debt, even putting those two things in place, like relatively simple. It's like, oh, like we said before, I have a plan. That those things alone can help you,
Right.
feel more hope and less down, kind of thing. Again, if you have
Yeah,
interpersonal,
already, but for the fact that, for recognizing the fact that mental health exists and it's something that you should take care of,
Right.
boom, right
Good
over,
kudos.
you're in the top half.
yes, you're already winning in a
'cause
way.
at least,
yeah, for
Because,
sure.
like, unfortunately, the minority believes, I guess depending on to the extent, but
Yes.
Anyway, recognizing it is important.
Oh, for
And
sure.
you said you were a college dropout. That could really mean anything. Like how much college? It doesn't, because having like going to college isn't necessarily like necessary or important, depending on what it is that you want to do. Or if you need to finish your degree, what is the industry?
Well, I
since
assume
then
if he
you're
was
saying-
in the industry since he was 17, pre-college, that it's a non-college degree required, right? Started.
Or you can be in an industry and have positions that don't require a college
That's
degree,
true.
and then more senior positions that do. So
Very true. But yeah, Ken is also
not everyone can start start in the mailroom and then become executive
Editor-in-chief.
of the paper
Yeah.
without ever doing anything. Just literally did it by gumption and bootstraps.
yeah, send Clark Kent and Lois Lane out on the beat, get that paper out every week.
Exactly.
Got
to get it out first. Extra.
extra. Hear it all about it.
Um,
But like I said, Kenneth. Oh yeah, but again to the point, if it's actual it involves people in your life too that you find are toxic to you, you need to remove them from your life. As painful as that may be. And find new friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Go places where you can meet people and find people that are more healthy and constructive to your mental well-being. And if you struggle with that
Yes.
kind of stuff as well, of course, we'll always throw out there that professional health counseling, mental health counseling, right, is a wonderful avenue to investigate and help you through this.
If you're having a mental emergency, please call 911.
That
As
is
they
true.
say on every doctor's office now.
Good
If
tip.
you call.
Good tip. Absolutely. So that's the thing, Kenneth. So you're saying, what are your first steps? Make a change. Pick a small thing. Do it. You know, consolidate your debt. Come up with a payment plan. Look for other jobs in your industry. Find a way to move up, move sideways, whatever you got to do. Make sure your income's coming in still. Get rid of that debt, and then you free up a lot of choices. Freedom after that. Oh, and again, remove toxic people from your life. And there. All right, Kenneth. Good luck.
I noticed though that you did not recommend to Kenneth
that he go on a webcam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that he starts on webcam and show his and do a topless webcam. You could do
that. Is just it's
Kenneth,
part of the world we live in.
You know, I'm going to recommend you can Kenneth do ASMR. All you have to do is this. You have to do. It's time to go.
Oh, and do it. And there's the French whisperer.
That's right.
Bonjour. Oh la la, bonjour. Tous les Mondays danse. Eiffel Tower. Oh, the baguette. Oh, French fries. Oh,
yeah, that's what they call them, French fries.
There you go. That's right.
I don't know about everyone else.
I believe they're freaks.
I'm fucking turned on. I don't know
right?
about everybody else.
See?
That was
Kenneth,
erotic.
if I could do it, anyone can. I mean, it's a thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, just thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I just,
sharing that with the world.
Hey, that's what I'm here to help. So, Kenneth, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
every
that just comes with the helping package for this week.
That's awesome. Right, Kenneth. Every big change starts with a small change. So, good luck to you. So, all right, here we go. 33-year-old female. This is Rebecca from Burlington, Vermont. 33-year-old female. I get really sad when people poke fun of my interests or something I do, and I'm really fucking tired of it. Ooh, use fucking. That's a profound statement there.
Strong language.
I really respect people who are able to dish and take roasts, and I hate feeling so thin-skinned. It just seems like I can't stop getting upset even when I know someone is being 100% playful. Any tips aside from just reminding myself over and over that it's all in good fun? Says Rebecca from Burlington, Vermont. I'm thinking one skin.
Because it sounds. Because what I'm hearing is it sounds like you've got a kind of a case of all my friends are fucking dicks. I'm curious to ascertain. I would like to ascertain what exactly is the dish/roasting dynamic within your friend group. That's part of the dynamic, because you can opt out of that. You can choose within your friend group. And if they are truly your friends, they will respect the fact that, you're not someone who likes to be teased or, poked fun at or whatever. I mean, there's certain levels you can't, let yourself get offended at everything, especially if someone does it unknowingly or whatnot. But
yes,
if your friends, if you're in Burlington, Vermont, are you guys arguing about fish set lists from the 90s? What exactly are they what different aroma of different patchoulis?
Burlington is a reasonably sized city that has more than just.
It is a tiny. It has a university. I have been there.
I have also
times.
Been to Burlington, Vermont.
It is not what you would call bustling.
All right, hold on. We're looking up. We're looking up the data.
It is a city.
Yes.
It is cold.
45,000 people.
Yeah, it's the largest city in the whole state.
5 zip codes.
That means nothing to me.
There's a what else is there? Famous for its beer. Incorporated in 1865. So there you go. That's pretty much all of it. All there is about it.
It's
It is the most populous city in the state of Vermont. It's 45 miles south of the border.
I mean, Burlington is very, but my experience with Burlington is that it's really nice. The people there are super nice.
Very nice.
It's a very chill place.
Yes.
It is definitely. It's
we
a place
love
where it's one of
people from
for
Vermont.
a city type of thing. It is really hey,
yes.
more than New Hampshire or Maine or every place has their kind of culture and stuff. Vermont is. I mean, that is where fish got its start. There's a reason Vermont is kind of famous for, the birth of jam bands.
He's referring
coming
to
out of there.
The band
coming
fish.
Out of the hills of Vermont.
He's referring to the band fish, not the
I'm
fish.
obviously referring to. If anyone did not,
people,
I did say fish concert.
Some people don't know Fish, the band. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, but saying a fish concert. So if I said,
I might think it's like a concert where people throw fish at each other. I don't know.
If I said, I was at an AC/DC concert, would you be like, okay, that's not alternating current, direct current. We're talking about the band.
Right.
It's not the different forms of electricity. Anyway, what are your tips for Rebecca?
Oh, right, Rebecca. I'm sorry.
Um,
We're here to help Rebecca.
yeah,
So yes.
help.
So
Fine.
determine if your friend group is dysfunctional, and try to change the dynamic or find some new friends. I know that can be hard because you may be attached to your friends, right? They just got this weird thing they do, right? Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't want this to come across as the blaming the victim kind of scenario, but I do think it does one well in life to be more thick-skinned because one does not know when they're going to encounter situations of certain aggressive, toxic people, and are going to have to be able to handle those situations, right? So, and then it's the
That
point
is
you're getting,
objectively true.
right? So, and that's what you're
Like,
getting at is how can I make
while you shouldn't
myself
necessarily have to be
correct?
that, because
You shouldn't
if
have
the
to.
world was a better place,
You're
great,
right.
but it's just not. So
Right.
like for your own mental health and your own ability to like handle situations,
Right. You should be able to
it's
handle these
got to be a
situations.
defense mechanism that you have
Right.
built up pre, ahead of time before you need it. So that
Exactly.
when something happens, you are not surprised and completely unable to cope, which
100.
will just make whatever that situation is 1,000 times worse.
Yes. 100%. And this could get deep, and again, if you ever decide to see a therapist, they can help you go through some of this. But just my rough take
Yeah.
on this kind of thing is just like, the things that have this philosophy in psychology that there's levels of closeness to your sense of self. You know what I mean? Something that's very deep and dear to you will be very within the more in the middle of that, and any attacks upon that feel like an attack on identity and self. And then when people
Right.
feel like their
Oh,
identity or
okay.
self
Yeah.
is attacked,
Yeah. It's like, yeah, your sphere and it kind of goes
yeah,
outwards.
yeah, your
And the
sphere of
ones closest inward are the ones where like, don't fuck with these
that's right,
people.
that's
This is
right,
like,
that's right, right.
oh,
Like
as Vin Diesel would say, this is fam.
this is right.
Whatever was in fam, but this is
Yes,
fam.
yeah,
Whatever that is, we're just
yes.
like, don't, yeah.
That's right. And this is
It's just,
exactly why discussions on religion and politics are so polarizing, because religion is
mhm,
literally a quarter of a person's identity. It's their faith, right? So that's why they feel so
right.
strongly about it, and they feel like their faith is being attacked. They feel like their identity and self is being attacked. That's why people get so defensive about it. So the thing for
And
you, if you
unfortunately,
really
that
want,
has also happened with politics, where
yes,
where people are identified by their
yes, I
politics,
am a
and especially the
X,
more
yes,
extreme they can go, the more, you know,
more
kind of
in it gets, and they
clicks and stuff
clutch
it
it,
gets, where it's just,
clutch it
yeah, where
more.
it's just literally, I mean, I think the political landscape is basically like an MMA fight, an MMA fight without the ref,
Yes.
like at all, and just cameras pointing at the cage. Look what's happening! Oh my god!
Oh my
Wow!
god, it's true.
Look at that! Like it's
Right. So what I was
yeah,
getting at there,
crazy
Rebecca,
world
is
out there,
that the things that you're into, your interests, you it sounds like you have them pretty in there, in the middle, pretty tight, and the question, the introspection would be as to why, you know what I mean? Like, is the thing that you're into and doing really that integral to your identity? And if so, is it because you're maybe unsure, insecure about other aspects of your life? You know what I mean? And then sort of need to hold on to the thing that you are into and do control, sort of stuff.
right?
Things to think about. Again, an actual licensed therapist can help you talk through these things. We are but amateurs,
Or
but
even like a good friend or whatever. I mean,
yes,
we are not licensed therapists, but
correct.
we
We know
um,
some things.
I have I have experienced lifetimes of therapy already. I have been within that sphere. So
Yes, there's no shame in it, by the way. You do,
just
but I guess that's the thing, right?
uh,
Because I think that and I don't want to get too into. I don't know. I'm going to get too into it. But the telling yourself all over and over, all you're doing is reinforcing and stamping down a reaction that you're still naturally
right,
having anyway because it's an emotional response. So I think
right,
the thing you're proposing you do is a avoidance and not a long term solution. You know what I mean? It's going to cause you distress. So again, I think getting at the reason why these things are so close to your sense of self and
right,
how that kind of factors into the bigger parts of your life. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a big thing. I know that's a lot
right.
to
Because the only thing she
digest,
really
but
mentioned is like
yeah,
making fun of her interests. So I'm wondering if there's a
yeah,
specific. This could be something that is a specific thing that like we just don't know. But
right,
it's like because we're like last week, if she was into like retro horror gaming, where it was going to be something
right.
great for Emily, uh, you know, maybe she's
Good.
into it, and the people within at Burlington, Vermont, are somehow not into it. But
Yeah,
it's Burlington, Vermont. Like go find a chiller friend group. They exist, as
It's
Vanguard,
Vermont.
as Vanguard
Everyone's
said, there's
chilling in
45,000.
Yeah.
There's 45,000 other souls in
Right.
Burlington, Vermont.
Right.
Go find them.
And a group of an interest group that's
and-
aligned with your interests. Go find them.
Yeah,
They'll love
exactly.
your interest, right? It's great.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Whatever that is.
Because I mean, it's not easy for us to say the obvious, right? Like, don't give a shit what about people say about your thing because it's your thing, right? But I know, again, the fact that you're having an emotional reaction means, you know, a little something deeper, which is what I was getting at before. But so
Yeah, it's never realistic to say something like don't
just don't get upset.
you know, don't
right?
let it bother you.
Don't let it bother
It's
you. They're
that
there.
that's the similar advice that drives people, like when people are depressed. It's like,
Yeah.
why can't you just be happy?
Yeah. Get
Why
over
can't you
it.
just go fuck yourself?
Right.
Like, because I mean, to tell someone, it's like telling someone with OCD, just stop, knock it off.
Right.
That's weird. Okay, you know, or anybody, you know,
It's like,
it's like,
oh,
it's
you know
just-
what?
it's-
You're right.
it's not only is it callous, it's absurd, you know. And so the advice, it's just like, cheer up. Like, no, like I can't.
Like
it's
that's
not
the problem.
Oh, it's a very difficult. Or yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, the beatings will continue until the morale improves. Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't work.
Right.
Like,
The beating.
I mean,
It's a good analogy.
like,
I love that one.
it takes a long that going that direction. It's gonna be hard. I gotta tell you. So
Mhm.
don't less stick, more carrot.
Great. Great. Fun. All right. So Rebecca, good luck. Be you. Find the best way to be the best you. What I will advise. So,
All right.
so I have to.
Alright, so that was 5, I think.
Oh, dude, speedrun time.
Oh yeah,
It just popped up. It's
speed round.
speedrun. It is your
All right.
turn. So,
Yes, it is my turn.
yeah, let me set your timer up here. So, for those who are not familiar, speedrun is 5 rapid fire questions, and it's Green Pants' turn, so he will answer them. I will ask the questions. He will answer the questions. He will have 60 seconds to do so. You see 60 seconds on our clock, and I will begin the timer after I finish reading the first question. Green Pants, are you ready?
Yes.
Excellent. If you could sleep on a bed made of anything, what would it be?
$240 worth of pudding.
Would you
Golden
rather-
retrievers.
Would you rather only wear blue clothing for the rest of your life or a hat every day for the rest of your life? Oh, softball.
How fucking dare you? I proudly wear a hat every day of my life already.
I know.
And
If
what
somebody
type of
were
false choice
to-
is that anyway? If-
Time is clicking. Time
I've
is
been ahead
ticking.
of the curve for 30
If
years.
somebody would take a candid photo of you, what would you most likely be doing? Ooh.
Ooh, at this point, staring off into the middle distance, wondering, fuck did we get here?
Okay. If you could build a house made out of non-traditional materials, what would you make it from?
Oh, like me personally,
Yeah.
like an aircraft carrier.
Okay.
You know, having all those materials. Although there is a house in British Columbia that's made entirely out of embalming fluid bottles that I know of.
Wow. Okay, last question. What's the most successful pickup line you know? 4 seconds.
Oh, I take you to the movies, but they won't let me bring my own snacks. Let's go fuck in our domiciles. I don't. Yeah, that she. Okay, I don't. Listen, okay, how about Okay, I can do better. Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see. Like,
Oh, wow.
that's probably worst. Are you a Transformer? Optimus Fine? No. Star Wars?
Go on.
Yoda, one for me.
Yeah. Good.
I should complain to Spotify that you are not on the hottest single list this week.
Have you actually used any of these? What's the best one you've actually
Absolutely
used?
not.
Right. What's the
Spotify
one
did
you've
not exist
used?
at any point in where I was dating.
Right. What's the one you've actually used?
I have never needed a pickup line because the dynamism,
Son of a
the
bitch.
dynamicism of my personality draws
I know. I know.
people to me.
I know. I know.
And
Must be nice.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know
Must
where.
be really nice.
But yeah.
Must have been horrible
Pickup
for you.
lines.
Must have been horrible for you.
No, it was not. It was not horrible. It was great. It was great. No, I mean, dating lots of girls and having sex with a lot of different women and stuff.
Sure.
It's objectively awesome. It's really, it's like I mean,
no
it's
question.
sweet.
It's fantastic.
If anybody out there, I totally recommend it. If
Yeah.
you can go in your life and have a lot of like, consensual safe sex. Just have a lot of it. Yeah. And like find
I
other people
concur.
and just,
It's fantastic.
do that. And that's just a recommendation.
It's fantastic. For sure. I'm trying to think what mine was. I think it was...
Your pickup line?
Yeah. It might have been when I was online dating. I don't know. It was like... No. I think it was in person back in school. It was kind of something like... something... It was taking the self-deprecating. It was like, I am absolutely terrible at this. However...
Right.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I am terrible at this, so I will just say it. Would you like to go to a dinner establishment with me?
Yes. Would you dine with me this evening?
Possibly penis and vagina intercourse at the end.
PIV, which we've learned, is a thing.
PIV.
PIV.
Like,
I would like to engage with PIV with your person. If you would be amenable to that.
This is not a transactional activity.
Right.
I would just like to have dinner and conversation with you. If later we decide to change the rules of engagement into one that involves, a gimp mask and a ball gag,
Yes.
that's great.
I'm amicable.
We'll do that at an appropriate time.
So if we can meet on the morrow, I would
Using
be much...
e-signatures.
Yes.
Make sure it's all
Sign here, initial here, and write in your preferred safe word here.
right. Exactly. Yes. Have one of those. Never know when you're gonna need it.
Not gonna pick up line, right? Anyway, so wait, did you say you want? So the house you wanted?
Is that a safe word? What is your
Mine's
safe
banana. Mine's banana. Because it's something you wouldn't
word?
normally say.
I'm thinking that as a pickup line. Be like,
oh, banana.
What's your safe word?
Oh, what's your safe word? Oh, I see. That's not bad, actually.
I mean, I don't know.
I kind of like that
one.
It's
terrible. I guess it depends on where you are.
Hey, what's your safe word? Hey, nice to meet you. What's your safe word? I'm liking it more and more every time I say it. I think I want to use it.
And you're wondering why.
I wasn't Mr. Vanguard, but
it's apparently that is the. I guess that was the dynamic personality that I was speaking of earlier.
There it is.
Because that is something that I would absolutely say to a stranger.
Yes.
What is your safe word?
Nice to meet you. What's your safe word?
That's something that
I'm telling you, I totally love it now. It's fantastic.
If you could sleep on a bed of anything, what would it be?
I don't know.
So I was thinking like
I want a bed of a
honestly,
bed.
It's gonna be it's like sheets probably.
Right.
Like I mean
comfort.
As I said, like living a bunch of golden retriever puppies like sleeping, but I don't want to be sleeping on them.
No, right.
Sleeping, but
with them, right?
Because beds were designed for a purpose, and so they already have the ideal shape and stuff for their function. Because as a society, this is what we have for this purpose.
Right.
And we kind of decided collectively,
people think
this is what is ideal.
Right. Like people are like, oh, bed of money. I'm like, that's not comfortable. Like, why do you want to sleep on a bed of money?
No,
have the pile of money. Yes, that's fine. And money's disgusting.
Your
right?
body would be covered in cocaine.
Oh,
it's just covered in. You would just have so much topical cocaine all over you, because there's enough cocaine on each. Yeah, if you were just Scrooge McDucking your way to, getting a cocaine high is almost inevitable.
So maybe we're boring in saying the made of bed materials.
No, I think we're being realistic. Because objectively, the best way and the most comfortable way for a human to sleep is probably something that humans are doing right now. Like, so
we've had thousands of years to figure this out. Yeah, how to sleep best.
And so
right?
there are lots of different options, and they are all in different places, and you can explore those options. I mean, there are even like water options, and
absolutely
for
feathers.
For thousands of years,
memory
people have been trying to figure out, okay, which way do you want to turn, or sleeping sideways, or with a pillow? Yeah, so
all kinds of stuff. Down.
I think
all kinds of wonderful.
So it doesn't need to be
beds.
$240 with the pudding.
With the pudding. Oh, pudding.
Yeah. Okay, so if somebody were to take a candid photo of you, what would you most likely be doing?
Oh, a candid? I usually do I have this gang sign I do. The thumb's got to peek through.
So that's what you would be doing candidly. Like if
as soon as
if someone were to catch you at random in the day, you'd just be like this.
I see. No, I don't like, walk around like this all day.
That would mean that you were constantly doing that, because I do often stare into the middle distance, wondering how the fuck did we get
all this
whatever this is that is happening.
This is it
right now.
Random.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's the only
two random
universe that I'm
amino
aware
acids
of, and I cannot.
Combining,
I am not able to switch out into another.
Creating the first protein,
I want to leave,
this happened.
But yeah, exactly. Like I really hope that the multiverse is real.
Yes.
Don't have a way to get there.
Right.
Please help.
Please help me. Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess that's just I'm aware of the camera. I do the gang sign, but like, if I'm not aware of the camera, I don't know. I'm sitting and watching a computer screen like most of my life. My job is, so you know what I mean. So it's like, what else
Also
I'd be
those
doing? I
questions
don't
where
know.
it's more, you know,
Yeah, I definitely would be.
But
You
I
wouldn't be
think-
able to see it on the film, on the camera rather. You wouldn't be able to see it on the picture, but I would definitely have a song in my head, which is like pretty much constant. Something.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's a fair guess.
I normally
Something.
always have like an audio book or a podcast. or
You're playing an
something, so
audiobook in
information
your
is
head?
being put into my head already.
I see.
So I don't have to think of a song because
Got it.
it's already processing something else.
Got it. Yeah, I'm processing
Um,
previously heard input. You're processing new input, which is more.
But I do go
commendable.
through books very, very quickly that way. So
Hey, you turn them up to 2x speed and just let them go through.
yeah, not quite
What I
that, but
do.
yeah, I mean that's because
I
to
do- I
me
do- I
that's
do
the
one-
comfortable.
Do 1.5 to 1.75 depending on how quickly the speaker speaks.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And then there's some that you can be faster, and some that you're like, no, that especially if it has a lot of accents or it's like if there's anything that's difficult to that you need you need the pause in the narration, but a lot of times the pauses are longer
Right.
than
Then
necessarily need.
need. Right. Yeah.
Although
it's
it
like,
does.
oh my God.
If you,
get on with it.
I don't know. Have you ever had an audiobook on, like in earpods or something, and then it all of a sudden went to like a Bluetooth speaker where it was just audible to everyone in the room?
No, I know.
It sounds crazy fast.
Oh,
It like when your brain is
because you've
parsing
adapted
it,
to it.
you've adapted
I
to
see.
it. But when it all of a sudden starts coming out of a speaker, it's like and you're like, that can't be what I'm listening to, because that happens so many times in a car.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
Mrs.
yeah.
Green Pants or I, we get into the car, and all of a sudden
It picks
just
up in the Bluetooth of
links
the
to
car.
our phone and whatever the last thing a person was listening to, so that someone's audiobook just like pops up, and it's like, and
I do understand what
for
that
me,
is. It's
we're
like,
moving
oh.
super fast, and Mrs. Green Pants is like, that is crazy. There's
Right,
no way.
You are a
absolutely
crazy
not. Like,
person. Yes.
um,
Yes.
but,
And then
I
what was the
accept
other
that.
one? And then
And,
rest of your life, the hat. Yeah, no, I know you've worn that hat. I've rarely seen your hair. I saw your hair at your wedding.
I am offended that
That question
that
is
that
offensive.
is a false
That's an
choice.
offensive question.
Yes,
It is.
well, I mean, like wearing
it was a
things
trap.
is fine, but like there's nothing wrong with wearing a hat every day. Yeah, I mean, if it was a trap,
Mm.
you failed. Trap, because
There's the
you know
hat.
wearing a hat's fine and good every way, and you can wear one at the dinner table. I don't care what you say,
Yes.
Mom.
Boring previous question. Thank you. Very good. Yes. Yeah. No.
Building a house out of non-traditional materials.
Oh yes, yes, yes. What did you say
What-
it was? The embalming
I said an aircraft
fluid?
carrier.
Embalming fluid.
But
though?
yes,
What
there
was
is
that
a
one?
yeah. So if you look up Kootenay Valley
Okay.
in British Columbia
Okay.
and look up embalming fluid bottle house, you will find it.
Okay. Is it insulating? I guess
they
it
definitely
might
exist.
be.
Yeah. There's lots of houses that are made of like glass bottles of just of like beer bottles and stuff. That exists
Huh.
all over. Anything.
Coke bottles,
That,
probably.
house made of an airplane. The house made out of like an old 7.7.
Right.
An old DC-10 or something.
Yours
It's
would be
all
an
a big
aircraft carrier.
post.
If mine was an aircraft
Right.
carrier, of course I would sleep in the captain's quarters.
Aircraft carrier
because
just gives
the
me
biggest-
choices. It just gives me a lot of room to have.
And if the
Yes,
aircraft carrier is
it
functional,
comes
you can
with a
also
lot of
go
space.
go see the world. You know what I mean? It's like
Right. I
Why
can
not?
go invade some countries or
You
whatnot.
you need people to fly the jets, but yes,
I would need a
okay.
crew. I would need a
Crew.
very large crew. That's why I
Large
just
crew.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just park that
Average
park that
crew.
boy. Yeah, that would be. Well, I would utilize less of the aircraft carrier than is available.
It is 500 officers, 3,700 enlisted. So a lot of people
I wonder what the minimum crew is to
to
operate, the
operate.
ship,
It's a good question.
which is a different. Is more of like probably like in the hundreds or
A
something.
different answer. Yeah. But again, I mean, you need pilots, you need the support crew for the plane. Planes take
But
a lot
no,
of.
I'm saying it would be so substantial.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
And you'd be like, well, you're doing like double rotations and stuff like that or whatever. Yeah.
Indeed. That would be cool.
Do you have an answer?
I like your aircraft carrier
Non-traditional
answer.
materials.
I love your aircraft carrier answer. Yeah. I mean, I want to
It's the
live on
first thing I
like
can think
a
of that was just like, okay, fine, the Empire State Building.
right. I always wanted to live in like that, like I was a big fan of, as you know, Star Trek: The Next Generation. I thought the rooms on that ship were awesome. I'd love to live in like one of the rooms, Starship.
Right. Yeah. Never saw the bathroom. Must have been one. Never saw it.
We got very
had
spacious
that little
quarters.
doorbell of like, you know,
Come. You say come.
come. P. Earl Grey.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
When they say, is it them saying come that makes the door open, the computer hears you? Or when you say come, do they push a button and open the door from the outside?
No, I think in the Next Generation, it was definitely the voice operation of the person in the room that
Opened the door.
responding
I
to
see.
the affirmative, like, come in.
Got it.
The computer was saying, okay, yeah.
Got it.
And then,
I like it. I like it. Now I even more want to live there now.
And then Gene Roddenberry's wife would tell you, affirmative, or something.
Affirmative.
So,
No, it's great. Yeah, and the that would be a pretty sweet place to live. Yeah, replicator, right? You can make stuff.
fucking holodeck.
Holodeck.
But
Oh
see,
my
that's
god.
the holodeck. You would
So
just
much
do
trouble on the
whatever
holodeck.
You would just be able to do whatever, and you'd be like, why would I want to do, you know, so you'd have to, it would be difficult to, you know.
Focus on your job,
Yeah, like, because while the world of future Star Trek is great, they never really, like, explain how they solved the problem of, like, hunger and poverty and
Right.
stuff.
They
Like,
just
it's
did.
like it just has,
have
it
none
just
of it.
has been solved.
And there's no
At
money
some
because
point in
we
the
don't need
past,
it. Right. We have no money.
Like,
because we
and it
don't need
happened, I
money.
guess, after they met the Vulcans, in peace and harmony
Right.
amongst all men
Yes.
and women
Yes.
and creatures of this earth.
Well, I think
and
the
then we had a warp drive.
I think that's right. I think the literature more gets it. I think the replicator is the real thing that really pushed it over the edge, because when you can make food out of component atoms,
True, in terms of resource constraints.
yeah, exactly. Because
Because
you're basically
that just
turning
that limits a massive resource constraint of, like, food or something that people
Exactly.
can fight over.
exactly.
Although still the land is the problem. which
'Cause
is,
it's-
like,
you turn
how did they
energy
stop
into
the
stuff.
Earth from getting poisoned?
Oh, right.
How did
I
they
know.
do that?
Yeah.
How did they get everyone to just stop
Up.
doing
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like,
Apparently they did.
it's like, and we can build a whole bunch of electric cars, and that's awesome. But, like, the other half of the world is still,
Yes.
you know, using coal to make new coal factories.
Use coal to make coal. Exactly.
So, you know.
Exactly.
But
No-
again, that's why I stare off into the middle distance.
I
wonder,
get it.
How
I
did
get
we
it.
get here?
That's right. Like, dear God, how has this happened?
I honestly
Did-
don't know.
Did we
I'm confused as fuck.
before we get off the Star Trek topic, did we talk about the issue that with the size of the ship that they describe in the documents describing the ship, and the
Right,
number
in
of
the Star Trek
crew,
technical manual.
and the
Yes.
number of crew on the ship, that it would fit like
Isn't it
this,
like 5,000 or something?
1,000 people on the
Is
ship.
it just 1,000? Okay.
But the ship is huge. It's like bigger than like it's like it's like 4 times as big as like a Gerald Ford class aircraft carrier, you know, or something like this. That can fit 5,000. You know what I mean? So it's like 20,
Great.
you know, whatever.
And
So they say the odds of you actually walking through the hallway and seeing another person is like almost zero.
just on the
Because
sheer
it's so
size,
big. Yeah.
whatever. Unless most of that, well, it depends. If all of the stuff within the ship was like, it was like all proportionally set, yes, you would have to go long distances from things. But if just a lot of it's like, oh yeah, the fucking cargo bays are huge.
Yeah.
Like the shuttlecraft launch bay is like, you know, an aircraft carrier size, you know,
Right.
it's, you know, or whatever, those, you know, because
Right.
they sort of just do have random cargo holds and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, no news. No news says
also,
not
it's a
all.
television show,
Well, right.
so they do whatever the fuck they want.
crush my
because they
dreams.
have
That's true.
they also have transporters, which really solves everything. Like, how do you get out of Earth's gravity well? Who the fuck cares? You just
Nope.
transport.
Right.
Yep. Using
Done.
what? Technology. Yes. Solved. Awesome.
It's really a
We will break
society.
your
That,
component. We will take your component atoms. We will lock onto them
yes.
at another location, and then just sort of, you know, just take a snapshot of and their arrangement, and then just rearrange them again
Right.
somewhere else. Perfectly
problem.
the same.
No issues.
I'm sure it'll happen within the next 20 years.
On that note, we're gonna sign off. But no news raised the point that not all of the hall is full of corridors. I guess that's true.
It does seem there is a lot
Nothing going
of
on.
corners though, and there's a lot of curves. But again, television show, so one thing I can say, star science fiction shows often not to scale.
It's true too.
You know, an X-wing is it's never really consistent in the amount of time they face it and stuff. They just, things change size.
Yes, they do. Like how many?
That could be the final piece of advice. Things change size, and
like Godzilla,
it's
right?
something you
Like
have to deal
from
with.
the original 60s, 70s Godzilla's sizes to more modern movie Godzilla's, he's changed size dramatically. I
Right.
believe there's a whole
Oh my God,
treatise
yeah.
on this. You can go on there and look up a whole blogs and articles about Godzilla's size changes. It's a substantial amount of data that you can get if you're in a Godzilla, and even if you're not,
Yeah.
then that's fine.
I have a kid who's into anime.
But what we
So, I get
you
it.
have a kid in it, absolutely. But we do know is that
Stay in mode all the way.
so we know Clarissa should not share a bed with her uncle. We know
Yes.
that Amanda should clean trash cans or start a webcam. We know that Monique should.
Rebecca should.
Yes, Rebecca, go
Oh, yeah,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, you're doing the. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say
please.
Monique should have sex with her boyfriend
I like your
and
one.
have a conversation about
Yes.
it with him first, right?
Yes.
And then Kenneth should pay off his debt and
Yep.
drop
My
in
financial
the job.
plan, unless your plan really is like you want to fake your own death and then whatever, and then just
Different
DM.
answer. DM us, right?
Yeah.
We know a guy that can help you
Yeah, like
make
six
that
guys.
happen.
Yeah, you're gonna actually need like 6 guys, but
That's
yeah,
true.
it's
Different aspect.
and it will require just a little bit of surgery. So
I have a
be
scar right here. Yes.
from a person who's not a doctor.
Mhm.
per se.
Doctor. Technically,
They have-
a medical
They don't have
degree,
training at a hospital,
medical school
medical this place. Yeah, they just
place.
learn
And,
on the fly. Self-taught.
That's right. That's right. And Rebecca, don't let people make fun of your habits. Hobbies, rather.
Or
Yourself.
if they are, find another friend group.
Absolutely.
It's Burlington, Vermont. There's lots of friendly people.
Burlington, Vermont.
I can't recommend more highly. Just get stoned.
Happy town.
You will definitely feel probably a little bit more chill.
100%. All right. With that, we're gonna sign off.
With that,
We will be here.
smoke more weed.
We well, really doing that would help.
I've always said that.
doing that help.
Okay, seriously, smoke some weed.
Yeah, doing that would help any of our questioners this week. I think would improve the situations. But,
Right. In these particular circumstances, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, no one writes in who's like, "Hey, I'm doing great," because that's they don't need our help. These are the
the lost children, that
souls of
need-
humanity
yeah,
that
the lost souls.
that come to us. And
That's right, and we
glad
hope
we
we
can help.
provide some value today. So we will be here actually next week at 9:30 Eastern U.S. time on Tuesday. You will find us again. We will answer our next 5 questions from our viewers. Speaking of which,
Yep.
send us your questions. Go below Green Pants.
Please,
See a link. Click the link. It'll bring you to a
Down
question.
here.
He's pointing at the link
or it could be on.
right
it
now.
could
He's
be-
pointing. It's ish where
somewhere.
it's ish where he's pointing.
Is it?
And then
Okay.
you will find the place to fill out your questions. You may submit your name, you may submit your town. If you do not submit your name or town, we will make them up for you. And that is okay. And if you submit your town, Green Pants will mock your town. And that's also okay.
Not-
And then
Don't be from Lansing, Michigan, or if you are from Lansing, Michigan, that's great. Thank you for admitting it. And I think you should get out. And
Exhibit A.
the person from Bluffville, Utah, clearly not in a great situation. So get all the way off my back about making fun of these places.
there you
'cause,
go. I think
they're
the Utah one
objectively terrible
you're spot on. And so we'll see you then. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we will catch you next week. And remember, we are just here to help. So have
Good night.
a night.